Hello people, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. This is Sorin, and today's video we are going to talk about Onslaught. We're going to talk about what are going to be the good vehicle, the bad vehicle to play in this game mode. So it's a competitive 7v7 game mode. We tested the vehicles out, well, not all of them, but some of them on the test server. Next month we're gonna have on the live server, so hopefully everything will stay the same. Otherwise, this video is not gonna be really helpful. What they're gonna earn, well, what is pretty much this game mode, well, is replacing the rank battles pretty much. We don't have the competitive vehicles like the Chieftain, the 279E, everything's Tech 3 vehicles, and that's all. You are divided into different ranks. It takes you like 50 points per rank, actually 50 points per division. There are 4 divisions to get yourself the best rank. So once you hit 200, you move to the iron, 400 you move to the bronze, and so on and so forth. Everything got their own camouflage and dog tag styles. Some of them got even bond missions. Actually, no, you get bonds for being in the league, and on top of that, you get like the nice badge next to your name. On top of that, some those really nice, beautiful camouflages. Next, you have the weekly missions with which change the old 100 160 battles to get yourself the compressor. They change pretty much now. You can do, I think there are gonna be like 5. I don't know how many there are gonna be. Those are only for test. But yes, you're gonna do weekly missions to get yourself to complete the last one, to get yourself the lucky chip. And the lucky chip over here, we can see we completed one, and we got ourselves the 3 days of premium. On top of that, the award into our service book. Next to that, once you do once you complete for the 3rd week, you get yourself bonds and so on and so forth, till you get yourself the universal manual, which will help you somehow. But yeah, rewards are subject to change. So without further ado, and what is new about this game mode, there is 25% more hit points. So for example, our object for 30U, instead of 2000 HP, you're gonna get 2000 and 2500. So everything is gonna have more hit points, which mean you're gonna last longer on the battlefield, which mean autoloaders are not gonna be as effective as taking you out as it used to be. Starting off with the German Tech 3, because it's our first. We do have on the Tech 3, we do have the artillery piece, which is first. Yeah, don't take artillery piece in this game mode. You're gonna put yourself at a disadvantage and your team, and you're gonna drop people's rank for no reason. So yeah, don't play artillery in this game mode. Take that out. The Jagdpanzer 100. I could say this tank is alright because it has such a good penetration, but because each tank has a dedicated special ability. Jagdpanzer 100, because it's an assault tank destroyer by its role, it gets only some mobility buff and nothing really useful, like, I don't know, damage increase, DPM increase, or something like that, as other vehicle does. So Jagdpanzer is not gonna be a good vehicle. Maybe the Grill. The Grill is our first sniper of this category, and this bonus is significant. You have pinpoint accuracy for 20 seconds at level 3. The for 10 is level 1, 15 is level 2, and 20 is level 3. I recommend you to wait till you charge for the level 3. It doesn't take much. Things like one shell or something like that, or capturing an important thing on the map, like the telecommunication tower to spare the enemies, or the bombardment artillery thing. And you're gonna have really effective skills. So bullseye, for 20 seconds you have pinpoint accuracy, which mean, in theory, with the grill you can hit 2 shells with your reload, but the timer will reset for damage caused by shooting from distances of over 250 meters, which mean you can have bullseye permanently activated for the sniper vehicles if you're gonna shoot over 250 meters, which is really nice. And on top of that, if your vehicle was not detected you are gonna receive extra 35 HP, extra 35% alpha damage, which mean in theory you can have 900 and I don't know, 920, 930 alpha damage. So yeah. But the main problem is that you have to be, to have to be not spotted. And setting up the grill perfectly for this, we can see that our after fire camouflage it's 2.8, which is not good. You're gonna get spotted if you're outside the bush. Um, Grill, I don't think it's gonna be that durable as well. The Panzerkranzwagen 7, it's not a good tank as well. It doesn't really have the best penetration, the best armor, and everything. The mouse, you do have a lot of hit points. You have like on tower like 4.4k hit points or something like that. Actually, 4k hit points. But the gun, it's meh. It doesn't have the best penetration. 311 is not the best. E100 has better DPM. You have the 15 centimeter howitzer. You have once again a lot of hit points, but slow. You have all of those vehicles that I mentioned before. You have this field repairs where you're gonna restore 200%, 200 hit points for your vehicle. So in theory, if you are 6 mouses and you use all of this in actually 7 mouses, and if you use all of this in the same time, you are gonna regenerate 1400 hit points every time you use it. Of course, if you're playing 7 mouses in a team, which I don't recommend, but yeah, everyone inside this radio are gonna get healed for 200 HP, which is good to have on the battlefield. But maybe the E100 is gonna be much more a better pick than the mouse. Obviously, for the E100 is just I prefer it better than the mouse, to be honest with you. The E50M doesn't have the most hit points, and I cannot say that is the best or the worst, but I will not recommend you to pick it. It's an assault medium tank, which means you have, what do you have as your boost? Is it a Fury? Yes, it's a Fury. You get 30% better DPM and 30% better accuracy, dispersion, and everything. And once again, if you're gonna keep shooting enemies within 200 meters, you're gonna have this thing activated for as long as you're gonna penetrate enemies that are close to you. So if you are a E50M enjoyer, then obviously you can use it. It's also a rental, so you don't have to research it. But I cannot say that it's neither overpower or underpower. The Leopard 1 can be good, but once again, you have the best armor. You have a really good gun, and on top of that, you are a tank that have a sniper medium tank, which means you have the artillery piece at your disposal. So if the enemy is capping, you should have a Leopard on your team if you're playing the super platoons, and the Leopard can just decap with using its artillery skill. The Rheinmetall Panzerwagen, it's a light tank. I don't really recommend the light tanks on this mod, mainly because there is the telecommunication tower, and some tanks have the scouting capability as well. So yeah, this is for the German Tech Tree. Next, we do have a lot. I have a lot of those in my garage. Artillery piece, once again, I don't want to talk about artillery piece. Just keep it. 268 version 4 is a nice vehicle to have. You're a yellow wagon to your name. You have really good hit pen, really good AP pen. This is my build. I really love this build. You have this straight ahead. You get better engine power. You have better repair time. You have on top of that, if enemies are gonna shoot at you while this skill is active, you're gonna have 4 seconds shaved off your reload. So it's always good to have the Object 268 version 4, so I recommend having this tank. Next, the Object 268. Usually before I will not recommend to use this tank, but now it does have a really interesting skill, and that is clean shot. For 25 seconds you have better dispersion, and on top of that, while this skill is active, you are gonna receive compensation for your reload if by the amount of how much damage. So for example, there is the enemy FE405. He has 2200 hit points. You have the HE loaded. You hit him for for 1100. You get 95% for the level 3. 95% of 50%, it's about 45%. So in the best case scenario, you get yourself what is called like an 13 seconds. You get yourself like 6 seconds shaved off your reload time. So how many times I play this tank? I play this tank quite like 6-7 times. And usually if you fight the heavies, your reload is gonna be roughly 9 seconds, which is good. Your DPM goes up to 6k pretty much, 5.5, 6k or even higher. And an interesting fact, if you are destroying an enemy, you get an insta shell. If you fight a heavy tank, you finish him and there is like another tank that is close to you, you're just gonna have an extra shell into your tank. And this tank with 350 hit pen and 2800 HP, it's really nice tank to have because it's an object to 6k once again. So I recommend this tank only if you know how to play this tank. How they're called, the non-turreted tanks are hard to play. Object 277 is a tank that everyone knows to play. Everyone it's good with it. 5.5 degrees of gun depression is not the best to work with, but you're a breakthrough heavy tank, and that means if you have more people, more your team is diversified, everyone gets bonus to their martial qualification levels. So as I mentioned, here comes the problem with not having a scout, because if you have your leopard 420 meters view range, you get this one for all skin, you get the how they're called, the crew 2.0 skills. On top of that, you got inspire, and your view range goes up to like 550 meters view range. So you don't really need a scout, you just need all tanks that have over 400 meters view range will do good with those. So yeah, object 277. As I mentioned, it's a easy tank to play with. I can say that is a must-have as well. IS-7 doesn't have the best penetration on its APCR, so you don't have good armor, you have good ramming capability, you're a good cooldown tank, but once again, the penetration for the amount of time you're gonna fight frontally is you're gonna struggle to penetrate if you don't have any aim to any weak point aim. Your DPM is low, so yeah, it's gonna take like 2 minutes to shoot a full HP mouse to kill it. So yeah, A7 is not something I could recommend. Object 705A, once again a vehicle that lacks DPM. The armor is good, the shells are right. I mean, the penetration is slightly better when hit, but it's slow. I will not recommend 705 as well. IS-4, it's an alright pick, just because the tank is good all around. You have good armor, you have ton of hit points, 2900 with my setup, and I don't think it's even full. Oh, it's actually full maxed out. Okay, I'll take that back. 2.9k plus another, let's say 290, that's 3.5k hit points, 3,500 hit points, so you have plenty of hit points. DPM is not the best, but the gun is alright. I mean, the IS-4 can do the job really good. On top of that, you can just heal for your allies. And have I told you how good with 6 degrees of gun depression this tank is on a reach line? Don't have any weak point on top, so yeah, you can be alright on a reach line. So IS-4 might be a recommendation for me. ST2, no, I will not recommend this vehicle just because it has really bad hit pen. Turret is weak, slow, you have a lot of hit points, but who cares? Object 430U, it's a good tank. You have the furry ability, you have good frontal armor, DPM 3.2k, once you have fully activated, and the same goes to the E50M. From I managed to get from 8.24 second down to 5.7 second reload, and that means my DPM went up to 4.6 or 4.5k DPM, and that was insane when I fought with this 2500 hit points vehicle. Overall, the vehicle is good. This was my setup. This is my setup for playing the game. But the main issue with this vehicle is the lack of the gun depression. So on the city maps where you don't want to feel like you want to play heavy, Object 430 might be the best pick for you, maybe if you enjoy your 430. Next is the Object 140. This thing has, this thing is good. It's quite mobile. It have the gun depression, you have the turret armor, but 320 alpha damage plus not the best armor. I mean, the armor is alright, but I will not pick this because the alpha damage is too small. Even though your DPM is good, it takes you too much time to, you're exposing too much. It's like I would rather expose myself once to hit for 750 than do the same thing 3-4 times just to hit for, doing 320 and so on and so forth. So occasionally 140 can be good, but for more open maps, more long gameplay or however it's called, but it's either you want to play the Object 140, you like it or not, otherwise I will not recommend the 140 as well. K91 Sniper medium tank, probably the best shell burst in the game. It has the same thing as the Leopard. Where is it? This one, the artillery piece. You are gonna damage the enemy. You're gonna stun them. So it's good for for supporting and decapturing. But yeah, you don't have the best flexibility. The gun is alright. Control. Doesn't have the armor, and yeah, you cannot really rely on armor as well, so K91 is not a good pick. T100T, as I mentioned, light tanks are not really important in this game. So we're gonna jump to the American Tech 3. We start up the T92. Yeah, we don't want that. E3 can work on city maps, but once again it's slow. You don't have once again the best crew. It just gives you like another, what is called another mobility stuff. Like the one I mentioned with the 260 version 4, and if enemy are gonna fire at you, you're gonna get reload buff. The same goes with the E4. This one it's weaker armor. I will not recommend the E4. The E3 can work, but yeah, non-turreted tank. There are not a lot of people into your team, so if they're gonna be medium tank and fast heavy tanks, then you're gonna get yourself, not useful. Enemies can flank you, double track you, so you're dependent on your teammates, and you need to do things properly to make E3 work. Next is the E5. E5 gets another interesting skill. Where is my E5? There it is, my E5. You have this bounty hunter, and the bounty hunter, after I talk about the E5 has good gun, good DPM, good hit points. The third weak point is here, but if you know how to wiggle it, you can make it work. Good mobility, strong view range. Actually, it's not strong, but it's mediocre. And the tank is good all around, and I will pick this over an M4Y or M3Y or whatever is the next tank gonna be. Yeah, M5Y, just because its tank has better gun, better everything, better armor, and this interesting skill, which it's a passive skill. By the start of your battle to the last minute, it is gonna increase. So let's say you have 8 second, you have 8 second reload. You shoot the mouse with HE, you hit him. Your reload goes down to 7.92. You hit him again, reload goes down by 7, goes down to 7.84, 7.6, no, 7.76, and so on, 7.68, 7.6, and so on. So it's a passive skill. The more you shoot, the better your reload time is gonna be. And on top of that, you get 65 hit points back for 5 seconds. So yeah, you can recover over time. But once again, it's an interesting skill, to be honest. I mean, I haven't used it, and I don't know. It's like one of the mediocre skin. It doesn't offer it the most, but it makes your tank slightly better. So. Yeah, E5, I recommend E5. The M5Y, I will not recommend. I mentioned why. T57 heavy. Ooh, have an auto loader over here. With this setup, with the hardening, just to have more hit points, with the turbocharger and with the vents to have better, better mobility and better DPM. You get yourself a tank that is gonna burst, that is gonna have really good DPM. With this setup, with 3 skill setup, I managed to, to have a lot of fun. Obviously with the cola, and the tank is just gonna burst you. You are potentially with this perk, you can burst 1.6k damage plus a fire in 3.3 seconds. Why is the fire? Because on my commander I picked Eagle Eye, and on my gunner I picked Deadeye, and every time you aim for a tank's back, it is gonna go in flame. First time you hit the fuel tank, it's gonna go orange. Second time you're gonna ignite it, automatic fire extinguisher gonna go in. Third time he's gonna fire again, and the same goes to the Amorax. So yeah, you need to aim for the actually for the a weak point. So for example, this tank's Amorak is here. The same goes to the 43. On the Super Conqueror, if you hit it like this, it's gonna damage the Amorak. Fuel tanks are, for most of the tanks are here, except for the Germans and some, for rear mounted turret, it's in the middle, in the front. So yeah, it requires you some experience and some tank knowledge. As I mentioned, you have plenty of hit points to work with, good DPM to work with, the mobility with the turbocharger is really nice, and overall the attack's armor is not the best, but once again, you are picking for 4 seconds and you are gonna retreat, and that's all. So T57 is a tank that I must have get it by, getting by Onslaught, because I don't have it on my account, and now because I play with it here, I enjoy it and I want to get it on my account as well. Next is the Patton. The Patton is a medium tank that, has good gun. It has a better armor on the turret. You have Inspire, which gives you 25% bonus to major qualification level. So from your usual team that is, with the food, Brothers in arms, ventilation is roughly 131%. So with this build, it's gonna go up to 156, 160%. So you're gonna get good view range, good concealment, good accuracy, and good everything with Inspire. The tank overall, it's average, is mediocre, but I will not recommend the pattern as well, because for a medium tank it's sluggish, and the armor will occasionally work, but yeah, there are better mediums, are actually better heavy tanks that can do better job in here in this mode. So yeah, the pattern is a skill for me. Next, the Sheridan is a light tank. I don't recommend the light tanks. For the French tech tree, we have the Bachat Baguette. No, don't get the Bachat Baguette. The Fochby. It used to be really good because everyone had less hit points, and with 2.4k HP, you just chase someone at heavy tank. He took the damage, he took the 750 from the 60 TP. He was 2.2k HP, and within 10 seconds you were like bam, 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 dead. You ran away for 35 seconds and you did again the same thing for your next enemy. Now, if you wanna go for memes, yeah, go ahead for this tank, but you're not gonna have the same influence. I mean, yeah, you're gonna hit for 2.4k, but you're not gonna kill anyone yet. Um, This tank is an support tank destroyer, which I don't remember what it does, but I think it's something to do with the gun handling. So yeah, the Foch B, if you want to go for memes, go for it. If you want to be competitive, then yeah, I will recommend a single shotgun other than that. But the DPM is really good, so yeah, it's up to you. 50B has less DPM than the 57 heavy, and it does have the same perk with bursting faster and better gun handling. So maybe if you want to ram your enemies as well, you might pick the T50B, but the T57 I find it superior. Next, the IMX M4 M54 this time got nerfed. Now it doesn't have the best DPM anymore with this gun, and the 120 actually it does have the same DPM. The vehicles gun handling got worsen, and is it the same? Actually, if you enjoyed your vehicle and you have it and you know how to play with it, then I recommend it. But AP pen, AP premium AP, it's not the best, and if you're experienced, then you can play this vehicle on Hula maps, but other than that, I will not recommend this vehicle. The same goes to the Bacha 25T, is the same as the Foch P. Your autoloader, you hit someone for 2k, then you run away, you are not gonna help your enemies, your teammates. The Batchat used to be good as well if you are playing good, but now it's more about the single or two shot guns or the faster reloading tanks, the faster magazine reloaded tanks, I supposed to say. So for me, it's no for the Batchat, no for the 3105, and for the EBR. The EBR might actually work. I mean, I've seen so many EBRs and so many weird strategies that you can make the EBR work, but you have 2k DP, you have 2k HP on this vehicle. It's insane. You are more, you survive more on this vehicle, but you know the EBR. You just go zoom zoom. You have this. You have with it, you with the patterns with the pattern. What was called Inspire. You have like 500 meters view range. You spot everyone. You're Ferrari on the battlefield, but you once again you are not competitive. You don't have the hit points, the gun handling, or the DPM to boot. So once again, I will not recommend it, but people are memeing around on the test server. I will not see this vehicle on the random as well, actually on the live server. But who knows? Maybe people are gonna find out DPR is broken and they're gonna fight with it. Next, Conqueror Gun Carrier. This one it's really good for for doing missions and everything, but don't get it into Onslaught. Don't. F505. Support tank destroyer. Oh, now I remember what support tank destroyer does. You have this interesting skill, and bro, I really find this skill so interesting. It's like if you go to this, you have recovery, you have second wind, you have better engine power, you go faster forward, you go faster backwards, and on top of that, you recover 85% of your hit points that you lost while accelerating its active, which means you have 2000 hit points, you get hit for no, it's like you have 2050 hit points, you get hit for 2000 hit points, and you regenerated back 1700 hit points, which is insane. I mean, if you it's like if you want to peak, you place accelerator, people are gonna shoot at you, you're gonna shoot them back, and you're gonna regenerate 85% of the hit points lost. And I cannot recommend everyone playing this tank. I mean, it's a hit or miss. The AV is not gonna be competitive, but I mean, just look at this. The average penetration went up to 314, and now I just realized that. And the average damage went up by 2%. I think that's from a skill or something like that. But it's a Death Star. It's not a Death Star. It's a shit barn. Don't get the shit barn on the battlefield. The Badger. Ooh, highest DPM in the game. This one is an assault tank destroyer. You have better mobility, but once again, slowness. Good DPM, it's really good, but it's still a no from me from the Badger. Mobility is key in this 7v7, and you need to be like a wolf pack, as if I not said before. You need to be the wolf pack, you have to be cramped, you have to take all 7 people. If it's gonna be a 1v2, then you're gonna have 1 man less. Obviously, because you cannot win a 1v2. So never go alone, or never let your slow tanks alone. Next to that, we have the Super Conqueror. The Super Conqueror, it's a good tank. It's a must-have as well. Good gun, good DPM, good HEs, good dispersion, good accuracy, good armor, mobility. It's okay for a heavy tank. We have that interesting thing that I talked about the E5 with the skill, because it's a versatile heavy tank. You have better, you have better reload time by 1% every time you penetrate someone. So you need to fire as much as you can to have the better DPM. So yeah, as Conqueror, I recommend it. Next is the Centurion AX. The buffed version of the AX has a good gun. It has good DPM. It's a versatile medium tank, and it does it does versatile medium. I don't remember, but I'll come back to this. The vehicle has good gun depression. The turret is alright. Hit points wise should be enough. Compatibility. You have HE, you have heat. So Centurion X with after the buff, yeah, kind of recommend it as well. Play it if you have it. If you don't like it, then you can switch to Japanese STB. Manticore, don't pick Manticore. Next you have China, VZ113 GFT, Assault Tank Destroyer. You get mobility bonus, you don't get accuracy bonus. Yeah, if you had the same as the 268, I will recommend this vehicle. 350 hit pain, 395 hit pain, mobility mech, good, good and bad armor. But I will not recommend the GFT as well. BZ75, I will not recommend this vehicle because there are vehicles that can do better than this. AK 100 or something faster like you name it, but this tank is mediocre, and And next is the 5A. You have the same as the Object 277, but this vehicle has better gun depression. You are more accurate, I think. And that's all pretty much. If you don't have the 277, then the 5A is for you. Personally, I will recommend this vehicle if you know what you're doing, but the tank doesn't have the best armor. It does have the good DPM, it have the mobility, flexibility, and as I mentioned, if you know what you're doing, then you can play this tank. 121B, it's I have to look back at this vehicle. Do you have 5 degrees? Yeah, do you have 5 degrees? The same as the Object 268, no, Object 430, sorry for that. You have you are really map dependent. If you don't have the gun depression, you cannot shoot enemies, and they're gonna spam hit at your turret and will eventually go through. But other than that, the mobility is good, the DPM is good, but once again, you don't have the best flexibility. Next is the Chinese Light, and I will say no to that as well. The Hori 3, personally, I will pick this tank because the gun is good. You have 360 AP pen, 700 alpha damage, good DPM, good gun stabilization. You are mobile. You are better. You are much. You're like a Jack Panzer 100, but better, more mobile. And going back to this line, what else you are? You are a versatile tank destroyer, which I think is the same as the 268 version. The 268. Have to double check that so I don't say something. Versatile tank destroyer. Yes, you have this thing that you're gonna reload if you're gonna kill the enemy, you're gonna get an instant shell back. So yeah, this tank is gonna be shredding with that kind of ability, just because it's versatile tank destroyer. So Hori, if you can get your hands on this, I recommend it. Type 5 heavy, once again a meatball with this gun you are more competitive, but 290 AP pen is not gonna go through. Plus you're a hit magnet, everyone's gonna penetrate you. You still have 4000 hit points to boot, but yeah, type 5 it's a no from me. STB1, good DPM, highest DPM I think into the mediums line. You are a versatile medium tank and you get Inspire, I think. So if you're gonna activate Inspire, you are gonna be Spotter, you are gonna do damage, you have the good turret armor, you have 13 degrees of gun depression. I recommend STB for every reach line map. Next from Czechoslovakia, VZ55, autoloader with pop-up gun or either the single shotgun. I'll say yeah, this tank is an alright vehicle. You have good DPM, good gun. The penetration APCRs are not the best. I mean 306, and it's a solid vehicle. Good mobility, good turret armor, flexible. You have everything you ask for a heavy tank. Next to that is the TVP. Actually, I haven't talked about special role. It's a breakthrough heavy tank, which mean that's the same as the 5A and the 277. You get bonus if if your allies are there diversified. If you're gonna have the medium, the tank disorder, you get bonuses. Next, the TVP T50 51. Autoloader. This is gonna be the last autoloader on the list. I think so. And this is the one that I will say yes. Actually, autoloader medium is the first that I'm gonna say yes, because 20 seconds for the reload for the clip. You clip everyone. You have good gun stabilization. You have the mobility, the view range, the camouflage, and if you enjoy playing medium tanks and tanks that can burst, maybe the TVP is the right tank for you as well. So Czechoslovakia has two tanks and both of them I recommend. That's actually really nice. You are a support medium tank and once again you get nice bonuses. I don't remember what was I don't know, there are so many bonuses and I kind of lost my head through it. Next we have Poland. We have the 60 TB breakthrough heavy tank. You have the same as I mentioned before with the VZ55. 60p, it's a solid vehicle, 750 alpha damage, mobility, armor, gun depression, turret armor, but the DPM is not the highest, the penetration hit is not the highest, but if you know how to aim and if you're using hit, 152 hit pen, you can overmatch some roofs, and can work. Many people can make this tank work. Plenty of hit points, more mobile than in 100. So yeah, 60p I recommend. Next, CS63, fast tank with sniper role. Once again, you have DPM, you have the best mobility, you have the artillery piece at your disposal. If you know how to play this tank, get it. If you don't, I don't recommend it as well. Next, we have the Swedes. We have STRV 103B, and this is a tank that you saw earlier. It's a sniper vehicle, and you get that 0.01 accuracy. So pretty much you're pinpoint accurate. You have really nice APCR pen, you have really nice accuracy, you have really good damage per minute, you have minus 11 gun depression, you have good accuracy, 4.3k DPM, heat shield, armor frontally, you are the bush yourself. I mean, look at this stationary and after fire. You have camouflage after fire. It's five times better than on the grill. So this one is the better sniper. If you look at this, you're gonna not this. Wait, where is my STRV? I just messed them up. STRV here. you're gonna get on top of that because you're not gonna get spotted with that after firing concealment. You're gonna get 35% extra damage. So you're not gonna hit for 390, you're gonna hit maybe for 400, 515, 520. So your DPM is gonna go up to maybe 7,000, maybe, or maybe 6.5k, or you know it, you name it. So STRV with a turbocharger, gun rammer, and you want to pick your third one, maybe the exhaust, or I don't know, binoculars in this case. For randoms, it's a tank that you can pick as well. STRV, not the STRV, the UDES. This tank is solid. This tank has trollish frontal armor, so good well armor. Tiny turret. I mean, you can just expose all of this, and you're gonna be hard to hit. DPM is good. Gun it's alright. Hit velocity is not the best. Hit penetration is not the best, but accuracy with this setup it's okay. You have Inspire, which you know you can get better, better view range, better concealment, better mobility. The armor is good as well. And once again, we have 14, or actually you don't have 14. I think you have 13 degrees of 12 degrees of 11 degrees of gun depression, plenty to work real lines. So yeah, you this as well. Get it. Nerfed Kranwagen. You have the focus on target, so this setup is not comfortable. Is not working on Onslaught because you get the same as the Anti-57 Heavy. Minus 75% to turret traverse dispersion. So you're gonna be accurate. You're gonna burst as well. You're gonna do 1.3k damage within 1.9 within like 4 seconds. So yeah, I mean, is this better than the T57 Heavy on a reach line? Yes, but day-to-day use, no, I'll still pick the T57 Heavy over this just because has so much better TPM than T57 Heavy, and for shells in the magazine. With the crew skills that I mentioned earlier, you can set things on fire. Yeah, the Crown Wagon, everyone knows it. Good turret armor, good mobility. Hull armor, it's meh, but who cares if you can expose the turret and just, don't give a damn about the enemies. Accuracy got nerfed, gun aiming time got nerfed, and it's still a really good tank to have, it's a really good tank to play, but it got nerfed, and maybe there are vehicles that I mentioned earlier that can, that can wink wink to you. Next, for last tank destroyer is the Minotauro. The Minotauro, good DPM. You have the auto reloader, 5 shells in the magazine, 2.5k potential, actually 2.6k potential damage, 24 seconds for the full reload, but you have good armor. You are what you are. You are an assault tank destroyer. You got mobility bonus. What I recommend is it's more for a long-winded game. It's not for this kind of onslaught, but you can make this work. For I'll not recommend it, but surely can this thing work. Rinoceronte. We are coming to the hard league. Auto reloader. Sadly, because the DPM sucks on this vehicle, got buffed as well. It got turret armor buff, but because it is taking so long to aim, and it's taking so long to load your magazine, then you are not gonna get much use of this. It's gonna take you, I don't know, it's gonna take you like 15 seconds to every time you shoot, so you can reload back. So yeah, I don't recommend the Rhinoceronte for this mode as well because there is too much hit points on the battlefield, and you're not gonna have the best combat capability to shred the enemies back. And last but not least, we come to the Progetto 65. I will recommend this vehicle now. Now that they nerfed it, they made hit points bigger. 1440 burst, it's not gonna make it. You have like 8 seconds for 360 alpha damage. STB can do much better than this. You're a support medium, so you have Inspire. On your special thing, you do have, oh, you have sleight of hand, so the same goes maybe to the Rinoceronte. You your magazine reload is reduced, so pretty much you, for a full magazine reload, you shave like 2, 3, 4 seconds, but it's still not significant, so you can make this tank really, oh my god, it's the best tank. No, Progetto I'll not recommend. And yeah, I think this was the entire video. Hopefully, how many minutes? It's like 30 seconds. It's a 50-minute video. It's the longest video I have made in my life. And there we go. This is Onslaught, all vehicle reviewed. Well, not really review, but went quick through them. And hopefully this video was informative. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you're gonna leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this one. And good luck to Onslaught and getting into that champion league. So without further ado, I'll see legends in the next one. Bye bye.